Good morning, everyone. This is Patrick Lee. It's time for Midweek Motivation Live. I hope y'all are doing all right today. I'm going to take that awkward moment and give people a couple of minutes to come online. We're going to talk today about finding the real you. I was going to put some music on here, Who Are You? by the Doors or the Who or whoever sang that. Changed my mind about doing that, but anyway, that's the topic we're going to be talking about today. Who are you? Let me check this. Last week, my post actually went live to the wrong page, so I'm checking my page here real quick to make sure that this comes on here live. We should be broadcasting live just now. Sal's already on here. Awesome. Good morning, Sal. Good to see you on here. People already tuning in, already getting a little crowd here. This is Patrick Lee. It's time for Midweek Motivation Live, finding the real you. Today, hey, this is the real me. My daughter just made me this shirt recently I got this for Father's Day. It says Fairly Savage. Some friends of ours, some of the youth in the youth group. My daughter is the youth leader at our local church, and the youth call me Uncle Pat, and I tell dad jokes, and I also attack people on social media sometimes for social injustice. I don't attack them, but I will. I'll have to make a comment on certain things when people are acting out. And she commented on it one day, and I said, well, I am fairly savage. So she had this T-shirt made for me, and this is my first day to wear it, my Fairly Savage T-shirt. I believe in being fair. I believe in calling out social injustice and injustice wherever I see it and not being afraid of that. And those are some of the things that I learned about me. And today we want to talk about learning about you. Who are you? See my sign up here, other reverse. This is Patrick Lee. I am the leader of the Patrick Lee Group. That's a local real estate team in Amarillo, Texas. We are brokered by eXp Realty. From time to time, I need to announce that in these videos. These are videos. I do them personally. They are ran through my business page as well. And in the means of trying to help you and lead you and motivate you, I also have to throw in a shameless plug for promotion of Jim. You look savage to me. There you go. Thank you, Jim. For my business, I do help people buy and sell real estate in the Amarillo, Texas, and the whole Panhandle region. At the end of every video, I put my digital business card, the link to that, in the comments below. You can click on that, www.patricklee.work. That is my business information created by Content Cards. That's Content Cards, CONTENTCARDZ. Michael K. and Nick Krim, those guys at Content Cards are phenomenal. If you are, dude, thank you, Stephen. I appreciate you so much. If you're a realtor and you're interested in a digital business card product, go to contentcards.com, and they can definitely hook you up there. Through my digital business card, you can reach me. You can schedule an appointment with me in my calendar through Calendly. You can find out who I am, what I do, what I stand for, a little bit about our nonprofit Agents Act, which is Agents Against Child Trafficking, and a portion of every one of our deals. A portion of the fee for Content Cards goes to support Agents Act every month, and all of the agents that we have banded together to become ambassadors for Agents Act. That part of that fee goes to Agents Act to help end child trafficking in third world nations. We're super proud of that. So you can find all of that in the comments below the video and after this video is over. And so that's the end of the shameless plug for Patrick Lee Realty, the new group at eXp Realty. A lot of people are watching. Thank you for the comments already coming in. Jim says you look live to me. There you go. That's all good. Love it, you guys. That's awesome. Love the comments. But hey, I want to talk to you. You know, we don't have a lot of time every week, but we do get a little bit of time. And I just want to talk to you a little bit this week about Becoming your best you are finding out who you really are. I believe that everyone in life has a purpose. I believe that a lot of people are not fulfilling that purpose. They are not happy doing what they're doing, and they don't really know what it is they are here to do, right? We may find ourselves in a career that we feel is a dead end. We're doing something for a living just to pay the bills, but it doesn't really pay us inside. It doesn't pay us to be who we are, and we feel trapped in it, in what it is that we are doing. And so I've got a little test for you today, and I want to talk to you a little bit. The first thing I want to ask you, do you feel like what you do is who you are? Some people are in a career, and the second question anyone always asks you when you're introduced to somebody is, number one, who you are. Who are you? Hey, my name is Stephen Lay, and they say, what do you do? Right? And it's sad that as a culture, that's what we ask next, because that very next question gives us this psychological answer or a feeling in our head of how we're going to relate to that person moving forward from that very moment. Okay, my name is Stephen Lay. What do you do? I'm an insurance agent. Stephen Lay is a State Farm agent. He's a phenomenal agent here in Amarillo. Very savvy businessman. Very, very, very good daddy to his baby girl. So someone says, who are you? Stephen Lay. What do you do? State Farm insurance agent. Okay, you're an insurance agent. I put you on the level of insurance agent. I know 50 insurance agents, right? And you just become one of the 50 people that I know that happen to sell insurance. Sorry for the reflection in the glasses. I guess some days I need to wear my glasses more than others. So the lights are up and out of the camera, but they do reflect on the glasses from time to time. So anyway, that's what people do here in Amarillo and everywhere I go. You're defined by what you do, but is that really how we should treat people? Is what I do who I am? Heck no. Who you are is not what you do, unless you find out who you are and you decide to start taking action towards doing what it is that you are. And that sounds like a weird statement. What are you talking about? Do what you are. Be who you are. Be who you really are. Be your true self. Do what you are. That's a Patrickism. I think I just made that up. Patrickism number 137. That's the number I just made up too. So do who you are. If what you're doing is not who you are, you may need to change what you do, or come back to the reason, the motivation behind what it is that you do, and come back to grips with that and re-embrace that and realize that what you do may be who you are. And that's what you believe you're here on this earth to fulfill, the purpose you're here to fulfill, right? So do you feel like what you do is who you are? And if it's not, then you need to start making some changes in your life. Maybe you just say, Patrick, I think you're full of crap. Well, that's what we have laxatives for. Take a laxative. Tell me to take a laxative. I don't care. You can say, I think you're full of crap. I'm not changing what I do just because some guy on Facebook told me that, or YouTube told me that I might need to do that. But we've talked a lot in the past, right, about finding fulfillment in your life. Give me a like or a love on this if this is resonating with you a little bit. Maybe you feel like you're in an area that in life or doing something in life that doesn't really fit who you are. Maybe you've come to grips with the fact that you will never change and that you're a slave to your emotions and feelings, and that what you do is just, how you're going to be and how you're going to live out the rest of your life. I don't know that, Hey, Wally, thanks for tuning in, my man. I appreciate that. This is another great friend that I have decided to make some changes in my life. And I realize that to be able to do the things that I want to do in life and to be able to help the amount of people that I want to help in my life, that I need to change who I am or grow who I am. I really feel like what I am here doing is what I'm called to do. This broadcast every week is a part of that. And there are a lot of ways I could have gone as a realtor to try to reach the masses and do more things. But if you set a goal and say that I'm put on this earth to help other people find or achieve the things in life that they want to find or achieve or become, then what's the best way for me to do that? And I found there are a lot of people that are just bulldogs at business, and they will bulldog their way forward, and they'll just pound on that grindstone until they bust it up and they become rich, wealthy, financially successful overnight. I set out a goal when I got into real estate. I changed my career at 50 years old because I was in sales most of my life, and food service, furniture sales. I was a professional baker for over 20 years and ran in-store bakeries, had my own bakery. I've had other multiple businesses. Then I became a remodeler and laid tile, paint, texture in homes for a lot of people for years, and then sold. I was always in public service, customer service, or selling. I've sold acoustical products. I've never become a used car salesman, and or sold insurance. I've never been a lawyer, but I have been a taxi driver. I've been a gas jockey, and I've been in sales or public service most of my life. In real estate, however, I determined at 50 years old what I was doing was not what I wanted to do. I was not doing who I was. And the thing that I wanted to do all of my life was to become a successful real estate agent. Part of becoming a successful real estate agent was helping other people. And we set large goals in the past with other teams that I was on and other partners that I've had in the past, people that I know, love, and trust, set huge goals to help. We started out at 100 people a year. I have goals to help 200 people a year now, and that's my goal. And I know that by adding people in my life like Wally, good friend, and a lot of you that watch on here, that those things will help me become a better version of the real me. I feel like who I am is the real me right now, and I'm super happy about that. One of the best ways to determine what you may be put on the earth to do, I'm going to pop this up on the screen. A couple of steps to finding out who the real you is, and if what you're doing is who you are or not, is determine what makes you angry or cry. Then determine what makes you incredibly happy. These are indicators of who you are as a person. I was watching America's Got Talent last night. Took a little break, had to go out and do some yard work. And I just laid some sod in the yard, had to get some water on that, and needed to go out and mow the rest of the grass. And took a little break because it was hot. It was almost 100 degrees here. It's going to be 100 degrees here for the next 5 days. And it was almost 9 o'clock at night before I was able to go out and mow a little bit of grass. Yes, I still mow my own grass. I still clean my own garage. I still take care of my own property. That's who I am as a man. I'm the king of my castle. I don't have to hire someone to do all of that for me. So I do that myself. Never been afraid of hard work and a little bit of sweat, or a lot of sweat. I broke my back for a lot of people and a lot of friends. But anyway, took a break. There was a guy singing on America's Got Talent. He was wrongly accused of a crime, went to prison for 37 years, and was recently vindicated by DNA evidence, was released, exonerated, vindicated, whatever, of that crime, and given a full pardon for that. And he was singing a song on America's Got Talent. And he learned to sing as a young boy. He sang throughout his years in prison. And Terry Crews asked him on the show, he goes, how did you make it through prison, 37 years in prison, and come out as well balanced as you are, and not bitter, angry, or a criminal? He said, they put my body in prison, but they never put my mind in prison. He said, my mind never went to prison with me. My mind was always my mind. I controlled my thoughts, my feelings, and my emotions. And at that point, he was one of the guys. He got 4 yeses. He's going on to the live shows. He's a phenomenal singer, and sang Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me by Elton John. It was amazing. So at that moment, hearing his story and hearing him sing, and the emotion behind that made me very emotional. I was sitting there. My wife was crying. I was crying. I'm like, give me a Kleenex, woman. This is crazy. But it made me happy because he was vindicated, and he never let what was going on in his life get him down. And I believe that you can do the same thing. We don't have to be who circumstances tell us that we are. We don't have to be happy with what we're doing. We can change that. So I took it upon myself at 50 years old to change my career so I could start becoming who I felt like I wanted to be, what I was here to do, to help people. Determine what makes you angry or cry, then determine what makes you incredibly happy. Vindication, success stories, of course, the laughter of a baby, the success of your children, a successful relationship, running a good business, being able to help people. Those things make me incredibly happy. Helping others makes me happy. It's my personality type. I can't avoid it. I just have to be who I am, right? Maybe you're the same way. Throw me some likes and loves if you feel the same way on this, if you're doing what makes you happy, throw up some hearts on the screen. I love to hear success stories and that people are well balanced and happy doing what they're doing. But also determine what makes you angry or cry. People that abuse other people, people that are mean to their wife or abuse their children, people that rob people in business, sickness and disease. Those things make me incredibly angry. Those things can make my phone is blowing up. I love that. I'm getting a lot of messages. Love that too. But those things make me angry or cry. Social injustice makes me very unhappy. I started a campaign. I just made a post on Facebook Sunday because we had a local police officer here in Amarillo, Texas. On the 4th of July, he was called out to a neighborhood park for fireworks abuse and gunshots. So he showed up and there was a fireworks war going on and people were shooting off artillery shells at each other, literally shooting fireworks, big fireworks at each other. Someone shot a firework right into when the police showed up. They shot fireworks at the officer. They shot an artillery shell at him right through the window of his car that went off in the car, causing injury, of course, to the vehicle and to the officer. And then multiple people in the crowd, just like some of the riots in some of the other cities that have happened in the last couple of months. They started rioting towards the police officer, shooting artillery shells and other fireworks at the police officer, basically like a war zone. The video was crazy. So I made a post, offered a reward for video of the person that shot that firework into the car because I was angry when I read what had happened. And when something makes you angry or cry, there's a call to action that rises up in my spirit as a man, and I want to do something about it. So that post has gone crazy. 800 people have shared the post. It's been viewed by over 50,000 people, and more people than I can even count right now have offered money in addition to the money that I offered. Video has been sent to me that has been passed on to the local authorities looking for the person that started this attack on a local police officer. That's crazy. We shouldn't be shooting artillery shells at our local police officers. Back the blue or we won't back you. That's my hashtag. So I don't care who you are. If you want to attack the cops, we know there's bad cops. There's social injustice. There's racial injustice. I get that. But the situation we find us in does not have to identify or dictate who we are as a people. And it doesn't have to me, and it doesn't have to you either. My emotions overtook me at that moment, and I made that post, and so many people are banding together with me. So moving on from that, the emotions are one of the things that you need to come into control of or grips with when you are determining who you are. Are you willing to come to peace with your emotions? Why or why not? Are you why? Are you possibly numb? If you're not an angry person, you may be the opposite of that person, and you may say, I'm just numb. Nothing really affects me anymore. I'm just trudging through life. I'm doing what I can do with what I've got. Maybe I'm doing the best. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just numb. Numb is a very bad place to be in your life. I wouldn't recommend anyone stay in numbness. And we do a lot of different things to avoid numbness. What do you do to overcome numbness? We could be numb for a lot of reasons. We could have been abused as a child. We could have been abused by a past spouse, a past relationship, a family member. We could have been abused at many jobs that we've had in the past where we were treated poorly or just like a menial, manual labor. doing menial tasks. And underappreciated people go through life sometimes feeling numb, or people that don't know who they are or why they're put on this earth will battle extreme periods of numbness. So they start doing other things to try to overcome that. What are some of the things that you would do to overcome numbness? I used to do a few things. I don't like to be numb. I like to be doing things that are exciting, but I was sort of a risk taker for a while. I've done a lot of different things. I like riding thrill rides, for one thing. Roller coasters are incredibly exciting. I love driving fast. I used to have quite a few fast cars when I was younger, and now drive a Dodge truck with a Hemi, and I still like racing some people from time to time. Hey, I'm 56, but I'm still 16 inside with the Hemi. Give me an open road and I'm going to race somebody. That's what I do. I'm a guy. I can't help it. But I don't do that to overcome numbness. I just do that for a little bit of fun. I don't feel that I'm numb. I think that I'm a fairly exciting guy and pretty well adapted to life, and enjoy what I do for a living. So what do you do to overcome numbness? Skydive, race, gamble, overeat, self-abuse. Many people do crazy things to overcome numbness. They get a little bit of money and they feel numb because those things don't bring them happiness or fulfillment. So they've got to go be a skydiver. You got to be a race car driver. Some people do the gambling, and then the gambling turns into an addiction, and then they find themselves broke. They're always looking for the next score, because when you win a hand, you feel a little bit of excitement, right? When you skydive, that's an incredible thrill. Jumping out of a plane, that risk is crazy, but when you land safely on the ground, you're like, that scared me half to death. Good Lord. Hope you never get scared to death twice. Half to death twice. Hope you never get scared half to death twice, because that would scare you to death. Anyway, but you're like, I've got to do that again. Some people want that thrill of the gambling. Some people overeat because they think they will never change. Hey, Pete, good to see you on here. Yes, still drive fast and furious. That's me, man. I'm still driving fairly fast. I'm hard on the brakes and the gas pedal in my truck. But anyway, some people turn to overeating and they say, you know what, this is just who I am and I don't have any feelings. So they overeat, they binge on sugar and carbs. So then they can feel guilt, because guilt is another way to overcome numbness. At least you feel something. Guilt is an incredible motivator for some people. I don't mean motivator. I mean, it's an incredible intoxicant to people. They want that feeling of guilt because at least they feel something, right? Some people self-abuse. We had a rampant period a few years ago of people that were cutters. The emotional, the emo kids were cutters. But you can self-abuse yourself with many different things. You can self-abuse yourself with alcohol and drugs. A lot of people turn to alcohol and drugs because that overindulging in alcohol or a drug masks numbness. And being numb is a very sad and lonely place to be in life. Loneliness and depression are running rampant in society today. These are not the real you. We need to determine who the real you is. So to do that, we need to go back to the beginning. Like I said, find out what makes you happy, what makes you angry. Those are two great indicators of who the real you is, and possibly the purpose you were put on this planet to solve, maybe the purpose that you have. Those are indicators of who you are as a person. Do you feel like what you do is who you are? And if not, you may think about changing what it is that you do and learning to do something that's more in alignment with your life goals. That's what I did at 50 years old. I've never been happier in my life. I think that the blessing in life and that harvest that I am reaping is because I made the changes in my life to become who I wanted to be and do the things, sow the seeds into my future that would cause happiness and peace and joy come into my life. So I am reaping that harvest. Seed time and harvest is a law that you cannot avoid in this world, in this planet. The seeds that you sow will come back to you. What you reap, you will sow. If that's grass sod in my front yard, if you feed that and water it, you've planted grass, grass will grow. If you've sown love, peace, joy, and harmony into your future and into other people, that's going to come back to you. It's an irrefutable law. It cannot not work. Does that make sense? If you sow seeds of generosity, you will be repaid with generosity. If you are an angry person and you lash out in anger to avoid numbness or to simply feel things, or you're overly bold to the point of being reckless, those are not good things for you. Those are things, seeds that you're sowing, that are going to come back to hit you in the future. I don't think that's good for you. Learn to be, there's one of the final things I want to talk about. There's just 2 more points. You need to learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. We say that in real estate a lot. When people get into real estate or sales, they're afraid to pick up the phone. And we call it phone reluctance. They're like, I don't want to call my family and friends to see if they're interested in buying a house because I don't want to seem like that pushy salesman. So they have phone reluctance. And all it really means is they're uncomfortable with doing something different. You want to stay in that box, in your comfort zone. If you want to be successful in life, you need to learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. This next line is a quote from Brené Brown that says, the great motivational speaker and has done multiple TED Talks, said, the person who is willing to be the most uncomfortable will rise the highest. My desire is for you to rise the highest in your life and be all that you can be. So learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And at that point, you become comfortable with that. You will see your life take off. You will start achieving altitude. You'll go, they call it shooting to the top like on a rocket, right? And at that point, then you need to learn to step out of that comfort zone and keep pushing those boundaries to lead, do more, grow, become all you can be. I've got some reports here while he was on here watching, and I recently started doing extra things. I had gotten kind of comfortable with where I was. I had achieved a certain level of success, and then I needed clarity. So I've downloaded a report. It's called the Clarity Report from the company that I work with. Incredible coaching company. The single most important document you'll read in your career as a real estate agent. And then filling out questionnaires and aligning myself with coaches in my life, because that's the next step for me to be. I'm uncomfortable, and that's okay. But I know I have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable to become the next level of me that I want to be. And the next level of me that I achieve is the next level that I can be for you as well. And I'm eternally grateful for that. Yes, Carissa, thank you for watching. It's God's law. Seed time and harvest is unavoidable. What you sow, that you will also reap. So finding out who the real you is, I think, is incredibly important in your life. We've talked about some different kind of personality tests you can take, the DISC test, the Enneagram test, a couple of those in the past, and a lot of you are that. Yes, Jim says, since seed time and harvest is a law, it's terminal. That's right. It is. What you sow, you'll also reap. But you can do all of these tests to find out what kind of personality you are. I'm a high I on the DISC test, almost off the chart, which is interpersonal communicator. And I love that. I love talking. But you know what? When I started doing real estate, I had never done live videos on Facebook. Never. And it wasn't something that I wanted to be or become, was this midweek motivation guy at that point. But when I started learning that I needed to grow my business, part of becoming a real estate agent was helping other people. And I knew I needed to have a social presence. It became natural for me to want to motivate others, just like I was motivated years ago. I've shared the story with a lot of you. When a guy drove through the drive-up window at a burger joint I was running, the assistant manager handed me a motivational cassette tape in a manila envelope and said, I think you're a sharp young man. You can be sharper. Listen to this tape. It'll change your life. And it was a cassette tape of Earl Nightingale, a professional speaker with the Nightingale Conant Company. And I consumed that cassette tape till I wore it out on my little Radio Shack cassette deck, and then started buying more and started this journey towards self-help, becoming in the field of personal development. I wanted to be better than I was. Listen, I came from a dirt poor family with 5 kids. Dad worked 3 jobs. Mom worked nights to feed all of us. Most of us were irreverent. We were raised in church. But you know what? We were picked on a lot of times. We weren't the rich kids in town. We were the Pentecostal kids. We were a little bit more needy than some, so we acted out more than some others. I was picked on as a child. I was bullied by a lot of classmates. They told me that I was, stupidly and things like that. We weren't rich. We were nothing. I was introverted. I didn't like talking to a lot of people. You know what I mean? I just didn't like it because I was around so many people that looked down on me because I was the skinny, nerdy kid. So I got into wrestling. I had some friends that toughened me up. They said, you're going to toughen up or we're going to toughen you up. Aaron Simon's one of my best friends to this day, got me into wrestling. I learned how to wrestle a little bit, and that started toughening me up. And a lot of things in life toughened me up. You know what I mean? But I had to learn when I was about 21 years old and got that cassette tape. I needed to become a better person in my life. I could do it if I would apply these principles to my life. So I did. I want the same thing for you. You know what I mean? I want you to rise to the highest level that you can rise to. I genuinely do. I wouldn't have been on here every week for over a year just doing these videos to motivate you if I didn't truly want that for you. I do. I appreciate everyone that comes on here every week to watch these videos. I have people that come up to me all the time and tell me thank you that I never know they're watching. I love that. A lot of people watch live. A lot of people come back and watch later on and they say, dude, keep doing what you're doing. Hey, midweek motivation guy. I've ran into a guy at the convenience store last week and he's like, Midweek Motivation Live. I know you. I'm like, I have no idea who the guy is, but he watches me on Facebook or YouTube, one of the two. And he says, I watch you all the time. I feel like I'm that guy in the insurance commercial. Safe driver, save 40%. And no one knows his name, but they go, safe driver, save 40%. And I want people to say, hey, that's Patrick Lee. He's that motivational dude. You should watch his video. That's awesome. I love that. I'm here to help you. This week, it's all about you becoming your best you, finding out who you really are. Find out what makes you angry. Find out what makes you sad. Those are the two great indicators of what you're probably put on this planet to help solve. Find out what your emotions are. If you're numb, find out why. If you have things in your past that you need to come to grips with, I'd urge you to do that. If it's a depression thing, get help with that. If you feel like you're ever near suicide, there are suicide hotlines out there. You can call me. You can click on my contact information in the comments below this video, 806-570-7712. I'd be happy to talk to you. But get some help, man. But find out who you are. Find out if you're numb. Find out why. Go back and research some of the things that may have happened to you in the past that you've never decided to deal with. Learn to deal with those things. Have an emotional cleanse. A lot of people join all of these pyramid scheme companies, and I've joined multiples. I love them. They're awesome. A lot of them have incredible products, but most every one of them has a cleanse, and it's to get your internal organs working properly. You get all of the crap out of you, and your body can start healing itself the way God intended from the inside out. But you know what? Sometimes you need an emotional cleanse, right? You need an emotional cleanse. I would urge you to get in touch with your feelings, find out what's gone on in your past. And I may be talking to someone right now that this is really hitting home with. Man, get in touch with your feelings. Ma'am, man, sir, lady, get in touch with your feelings. Find out why you're so angry. Find out why you're numb. Find out why you're self-medicating to the point that you don't want to feel anything anymore. And come to grips with that. You know what I mean? If it's an emotional moment, you need to just have an emotional breakdown. Get alone with yourself and your thoughts. Go to a dark room, man. Go to a dark room, turn out the lights, and just sit there and think and just be. Just be who you are, right? And feel the thoughts, the feelings. If it's a wave of emotion, let that come over you. Let that come out of you, that release. If it's incredible joy, then just enjoy that, man. Breathe it in, be in that moment, and realize that you're happy with who you are. If you're not happy with who you are, start taking steps today to make that change in your life. There are a lot of different things that you can do. Phone a friend, get some help, call me. I'd be happy to talk to you. I was in a coffee shop the other night talking to a client about buying a house, and it turned into a conversation of, hey, this is what I really want to talk to you about. And it turned into a great little counseling session, and I was able to help this person out with a lot of things in their life. I hope that was very beneficial to them. And that happens to me a lot. A lot of people just say, I want to talk to you about this, But what I really want to talk to you about is this. This is what's going on in my life. And you're the kind of person that I can tell. And there's no one else I know that I can trust that I can tell. So people tell me a lot of things, and they're all told in confidence, and I do my best to help them. I believe you have that in you too. And I want to see that come out of all of you. Hey, I got to sign off here. I've been online already over 35 minutes. I've gone over my time. I've taken enough of your time today. I hope you enjoyed this. Who are you? Finding the real you. A lot of practical information in here to help you become a better person and become more happy with who you are. Until next time, this has been Patrick Lee with Midweek Motivation Live. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.